I want to draw a line, an imaginary line, from this point to this point, right in the center. And above the line, there is absolutely nothing. Nothing you can see, nothing you can feel or experience, nothing that you can lay your hands on. But underneath the line, there is the world that you know, the world that you grew up with, all the people in your life, all the people in your family, your friends, the people at work, life as you know it, things you can touch and feel and that you can hear, things that make sense to you. But God wants you and I to understand that there is a world above the line. It is God's world. Things we cannot see with our natural eyes, things we cannot touch with our physical hands, but it is the real world. Because the moment you and I became born again, we became born into the world above the line. Colossians chapter 3 verse 1 says, seeing then that you have been raised up with Christ, seek those things which are above, where Christ is, and seated at the right hand of God. And verse 2 it says, set your mind. In other words, your thought life, what happens between your ears, the energy of everything that we engage where no one can see, the intimate realm of our thoughts. That's where the success story of our lives, that's where it's really going to make a difference. Now, verse 2 says, set your mind on things above and not on things on the earth. For you have died. In other words, the cross of Christ, what happened on the cross makes this instruction possible. For you have died, and your life, your real life, the spiritual message and the meaning of your life here on earth, your life is hidden with Christ. But above the line, that is where your calling is. Underneath the line, that's where your career is. God says, do not spend all the energy of your thought life on your career only. Do not allow your thought life to become the slave and the servant of earthly things, but allow your mind to be relocated above that line in the world of God. You and I have to make a decision. We are going to give our attention to what is above the line, setting our thoughts. Set your mind on things above. What are those things? Things that concern the call of God upon your life. Give your attention to the fact that God has put something in you that He wants to bring out of you that is going to make a difference in the world that is underneath the line, so that everybody can take note, everybody can know that God is real, God is willing, God is able, and God is going to do things now, in this time, in our generation, that is going to prove the magnificence, the power, the success story of the gospel of Jesus Christ.